I'm heading out, I ain't gonna fall back. All I'm take it on me, baby. All I ever ask, are you gonna be my lover? Tonight, I take it with me. What if I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they hold your hands, baby, never mind. What if I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they hold your hands, baby, never mind. I ain't gonna stop right now. Alright, take it on me, ooh, baby. Alright, I ever ask, do you wanna see my fire? Tonight, take it with me, If I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they hold your hands, baby, never mind. What if I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they hold your hands, baby, never mind.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a hearty welcome and round back to the stage, Mr. Tim Wolf.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to see all of you here. Last night was super amazing. I don't know if you realize it, there was so much detail behind last night with Cynthia and the Fort Collins team, but I didn't realize that the football quarterback was there. There was people from other sports roaming around the group, and then to do that letter C in the middle, that was just awesome. So we're going to give them a couple round of applause, but let's give them a round of applause for that last night. So my name is Tim Wolf. I'm the director of the tourism office, and I don't need to read my notes to make sure I know that, but I do need my notes to make sure that I remember Meredith, who was a sponsor this morning for the breakfast, and let's give them a round of applause for handling breakfast for us. And then 62 above did the yoga, and we had almost double digits of yoga attendees there this morning at 6 a.m. So let's give 62 and above. So as we start things off this morning and gather in Fort Collins, in the spirit of healing and education, the Colorado Tourism Office acknowledges the 48 contemporary tribes with historic ties to the state of Colorado. We recognize and honor these indigenous peoples as the original inhabitants of our land. Now, with Fort Collins, I'd love to play this video, and I hope you've had a chance to see and experience Fort Collins the last couple of days, but we'll go ahead and run a video.
Oh, hello. The fine people that visit Fort Collins want to get shots of me waking up in the morning. Little do they know, I never sleep. Welcome to GovCon in Fort Collins. I'm Chip Matthews, back with another URT. No, it's not a disease, it's an urban ranger tip. Go outside and explore all that Fort Collins has to offer. I'll be your tour guide, Chip Matthews, Urban Ranger. did you know that this building was the inspiration for Main Street USA and Disneyland? We're home to Colorado State University. Go Rams!
Blue 42, CSU, Fort Fun, hi, hi.
I said I'm proud to be a CSU Ram. I said I'm proud to be a CSU Ram. Well, folks, get out there and explore Fort Collins. And don't forget about me, Chip Matthews, Urban Ranger.
Okay, we're ready.
What's this for again?
GovCon.
GovCon. Is that like Comic-Con for governors?
Go. Go.
Let's get ready to GovCon! Brr, brr, brr.
That is just awesome. Again, thank you, Fort Collins. And you know, it's interesting when I see that video. I lost my key. I go to the front desk last night, and I think we've taken over the entire hotel. I think there's like 2 or 3 rooms that are other guests, right? So this one guest, they were standing checking in, and they said, "What is tourism?" Right? And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like, "You're everywhere." Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, just curious to me. But when you see that video and you think about tourism, we are storytellers. You know, everybody in here is telling a story to inspire to come to Colorado or your destination. And when they do, they're getting experiences of a lifetime. So you are the inspiration of developing experiences that people are going to take for the rest of their lives and go back and tell their families and friends. So thank all of you for being here and supporting the storytelling of our industry. Well, today we're going to give you some details of 2022, what happened, some updates. And I've learned a long time ago that the best way for any type of success to even have a chance of success is to hire and work with teams that are smarter than I am. And I am blessed to have such an amazing team, and they're going to come up and present that. They are just so knowledgeable. They ask the right questions. And so they're going to be going through some of the details in each of their divisions so that you guys can get a quick update. But before we do that, I want to just kind of give you an update of, from a high level, what we're doing and what our strategic plan is and these types of things. And you may or may not have seen it, but our roadmap are these basically 4 pillars. And on your table, there are a little index card that kind of gives you those 4 pillars. And on the back side gives you kind of 3 quick stats on what it is, our high-level goals and our impacts of tourism across Colorado, and also a QR code that you can actually access reports that you can look at by county. You know, and these reports, or you can look at it by legislator, a lot of different reports that certainly you can come up to any of our team members and we can help you gather. But we have those 3 pillars: the economic vitality to drive it to the right parts of the state to encourage tourism and tourism, the economies of tourism. Then there's the destination stewardship that's really to balance the quality of life of residents with the tourism experience and managing tourism and destination development. And then leadership and providing right information so that our communities can make the best decisions on whatever they need to do, whether it's a 5-year plan or a short plan, whatever they need to do. So we want to make sure that we provide that information. So those key numbers are on those index cards, but nearly $28 billion in tourism spend, and regionally an increase, a big increase, but we have to keep in mind that part of that increase is actually inflation. A little bit of that, we all are experiencing it. So those numbers for 2022 are just up a little bit because of that. Then the collected tax revenues, which help support our economies, on average, we talk about $760 that offset our household taxpayers. So that certainly helps offset that. But what's interesting is in some regions, like Eagle County, the tourism tax collected offsets personal household taxes by nearly $4,000. So when we did the math by areas, it's certainly fascinating to see which ones. But on average, we always talk about averages, and sometimes the details are always hidden in the diversity of our state and landscape and everything around the state of Colorado. And then a number of jobs that certainly was increased, and appreciate everybody's efforts to continue to bring back the workers into our industry. So a few more numbers to share with you. These are increase in travel spending, in jobs, in growth in earnings, and certainly the tax revenues, and some details are there. This PowerPoint, no need to take pictures or whatever, we'll make sure that everybody has access to this so that we could certainly share with your communities as you see fit. The devil's in the details, as I mentioned. This graph is a heat map of, by county, the Colorado counties. And what's interesting and not surprising is that Denver, Aurora, those front range communities grew faster than the rest of the state in 2022. The simple fact is business transient and group are just starting to return. And so their growth was huge in that area along with inflation. So they accounted for a huge part of the lift for the state of Colorado overall. And they really actually helped offset other areas. So what's interesting in 2022 is some of those southern counties are starting to see a little bit of softening. So if you think about tourism through the transition and normalization is kind of a series of gates. When we first started, everybody went outdoor. Social distance, space, we need it. We became the epicenter of everything because we had that. Then urban opened up. We felt comfortable. We could go back to the cities. Then all of a sudden, wow, we can get on a plane. We didn't have our reunion in wherever it was. So how did, we started traveling back to there. Then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we can go international. We can go fly. We got direct flights all over the place from Colorado. It's awesome. And then, China and India haven't even opened up yet. So there's a series of gates that are opening, or series of things. And these series of things impact the state of Colorado because we're starting to see outdoor rec because the competition and people and revenge travel for all these other things are starting to pick up. So, and the other thing that's interesting about it is that the international market, those gates are opening up the same way. So when we were in Japan in March, it still felt like pandemic, full force, masks everywhere, or whatever. And then talking to some of those locals, they're all traveling within Japan, just like us. They're not willing to get on a plane. The other thing is the inflation, so it's a 20% increase, so they weren't coming back nearly as fast. So all these things are having ripple effects till we get into normalization, which is contributing to why these counties are down just a little bit here in 2022. And then if you subtract the labor impact, let's just say typical inflation is 4%. Well, Colorado averaged 8% in 2022. So if you subtract another 4%, some of these counties in the southern part of the state would be even further down a little bit. So I just want to caution that we need to look at that, and we'd be willing to share with you, again, from that leadership perspective, some of those details, what are the trends, and we're seeing some of the same trends in 2023 right now. Interesting, the total overnight stays, there we are. We're just still not quite to 2019, which is kind of interesting. It's like, oh my gosh, we're already back. But some of that we still haven't recovered yet is the business transient. Business transient, like TIAA, which is a building right next to ours, used to have 3,500 people come in for just transient travel. I know that because I bid on that business when I was the GM of the Brown Palace back in 2019. Well, talking to them now, they still only have a couple of hundred people traveling from the Carolinas here to Colorado. So that business transient is not back yet. And that's what really fuels the hotels. It helps the rates. While Visit Denver is doing a terrific job booking those conferences and meetings, those are bouncing back a little bit, but it's still a little bit choppy, which is why this overall number is still a little bit less. Because you're like, wait, we're really busy in this area, but this is why, when we're looking at an overall state, the story is always behind the details. So I want to talk about major initiatives. So when I got up here and joined the team, they had so many tremendous ideas. They're like, what about this? What about this? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. They're like, okay, what about this? Yeah, let's go for it. And I'm like, okay, let's figure out how to do these things. And so last year I was like, okay, here's the things that our team wants to do and how are we going to get it done? And let's just check the box, get it done, and help the industry. And so we have ongoing and upcoming projects. So on our ongoing projects, we have the marketing portal. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's simply a centralized resource for our industry to access assets, photos, and soon videos for the state of Colorado. So that way you have a centralized place. We didn't have that. We're like, okay, we want to put all of this in one area and be able to share that with the industry. And how are we populating that? And we'll go into that here in a second, but it's like we needed to make sure everybody had access to those. And some of the things, and you'll hear from our team, is we're going out and creating content by season with diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility built into these assets. So what do I mean by that? It's like, well, we have to be in the rural Colorado. We have to be in the mountains, taking photos, different seasons, showing our culture and the diversity of our travelers that come to Colorado, and have that as a resource so that our communities can use those things that may not have the budgets that they use to be able to utilize those assets. And that lives on the marketing portal. It was developed last year at the end of 21, 22. It's gaining full steam, and if you want to learn how to get access, any one of our team can help you with that. So the international database. So I know that we have a number of people that have been to IPW, and maybe some don't even know what IPW is. Well, IPW is one of the biggest gatherings of international and domestic travelers in the United States. It happens once a year, and it's an amazing experience where we get to highlight Colorado, and we partner with a number of destinations in IPW. So a couple years ago in 2021, I was with Andrea and Julie and some of our international team, and we were there, and it was pandemic, which was great for me because it was really slow and I could kind of understand what was going on there. And what we learned was a lot of people, even when we were starting to build back momentum to come back to Colorado, people didn't have access to all of the resources they wanted. But we also, I'm like, how do I know if this person was successful? They would come up and go, hey, I got all of this, you gotta do this. This is gonna drive millions of visitors to Colorado. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds great, let's do it. And I don't know if it's the tip of the iceberg or if I'm getting into a scam or whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what to believe, right? So Andrea and her team, she's like, well, we need to track these things. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. They came up with the international database. So we have developed a database much like Delphi, and I forget what the Marriott tool is, but basically it's listing opportunities and our conversations in there with our owners so that we can go back so that the next year I'm like sitting down and going, hey, oh, well, this is what you said last year. That did or didn't happen and why, right? And so we never had that. The other thing is unfortunately one of our partners in France had issues through COVID. We had to change agencies. I'm like, well, how did we do the handover? And they're like, well, those guys are gone, right? So this international database has those resources so that we continue moving forward for it to pass through to whoever needs that information, those types of opportunities that are gonna help Colorado. Then we have the destination stewardship strategy. The statewide collection of unbelievable people. I'm going to let Jill speak more about that. But to create a stewardship strategy by region across the state, utilizing other fantastic resources like Mia and Vale and the things in Breckenridge. All of those things, along with this group, are going to help us create a strategy that's going to be adoptable for anywhere in the state, so that if they don't have the resources like Breckenridge, like Lucy, or in these other places, that they'll be able to utilize those things for stewardship. Because one of our components is to make sure that the quality of our residents' life and visitor experiences work together for our communities. And then the Do Colorado Right. How many have seen the commercials on Do Colorado Right? Has anybody seen the videos? Yeah? That's fantastic. Well, Do Colorado Right is our stewardship message. How do we get the word out there? It's through Do Colorado Right. And the cool thing is now we have other partners like Estes Park and Gunnison that say, do Estes Park right for timed entry into the park. Do Gunnison right for how to do the trails and where to go. And so these things now are branded, elevate our entire brand in a unified voice, branded, that helps get the message out there. And the evolution of that's going to be awesome, because we're looking at possible public-private partnerships to do other things like recycling and these things, so that we could elevate the capital to be able to really get this across. We already do this with partnerships with CDOT and some other things that you'll see in a minute. So, upcoming, these are some big things. Michelin program, has anybody heard of the Michelin program? Yeah, I hope so, yeah. So, the Michelin program, almost 2 years in the making, wouldn't happen without the collaboration of so many people in this room. The program, you know, it highlights Denver, Boulder, Vail, Aspen, Steamboat, Beaver Creek, but it's not just those. It really elevates the entire state's culinary opportunity. And one of the things that Shelley and I talked about is like, now we're going to start advertising, or we're filming and looking at content for those other opportunities that you may not know about. So that we're not going to exclude, we're going to actually take the opportunity to look outside of that box, which is going to do its great efforts for the culinary expertise in those destinations, but then also look at Grand Junction. We know there's an opportunity there. We know there's opportunities in Colorado Springs. We know that in Aurora. So we're going to be looking at those to try to elevate it through some of our branding, but then also talk to the communities that are still interested in joining in that program, because all of our culinary is awesome. And anytime you get that out there, just the third state, are you kidding me? It's awesome that we've been able to do that. So congratulations to everybody, and anybody interested in doing more on that, please let me know. The tour and travel platform, the Tourism Exchange. I like to call this the addition of Uber to the taxi cabs. So what do I mean, and what are you talking about with tour and travel? Well, on the international scene, what's interesting is you go to these countries and they book, and they have insurances, and they book way far in advance, and they build packages, and they have airfare and hotels, then they have fly fishing, and they have all these different types of things that they build for their guests, for the people that may be booking them. And when I was a hotelier, I always had tour and travel come up to me, and they're like, well, you need to give us room nights. I'm like, okay. And I'd give them a couple of room nights, right? And they're like, well, we need a fixed rate. Okay. And they're like, well, we need the lowest rate you can. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll do that. Now I'm a little nervous, right? So I give them a couple rooms. Inevitably, those rooms that would come in for me as a hotel operator were at the time where we had a citywide convention that the rates were like $500 or $600, and I'm taking a $129 rate, right? So I was taught, because of this program, not to put those rooms into the inventory, because my ownership is going to say, why are you having such low rates in your inventory when you know there's a citywide? I'm like, oh, okay, that's not good. So what the Tourism Exchange is the cloud-based dynamic pricing that will allow us to increase our inventory so that we can charge whatever prices we want. So if the Four Seasons wants to join, and somebody's the husband that forgot to book his Christmas travel for his wife is in the doghouse, he can go right in, look at that, and go, okay, you know it's going to cost me a lot, but I can still go there, and I can still do this. And, oh, yeah, I had it planned a long time ago. you know? So but that's gonna happen at the same time as the taxi cab. So it gives us an opportunity to increase our supply of experiences. So super important program. It's well underway. We're working on trying to do the transition. We're one of the first states, and we worked hard with the U.S. Travel Association to make sure that they help to offset the licensing fees. So we have support behind this. It's not a new program. Again, team smarter than me says, hey, we should do this. I'm like, it's a great idea, and it's going to be rolling out. And I know we had some breakout sessions. If there's questions about it, certainly come and see me. The Welcome Center refresh. Super complicated, but super exciting. This is well underway. Taryn's going to talk about this a little bit more, but we are lining things up. We're lining things up. Again, there's new welcome centers coming on board, one in Colorado Springs, one on the top of Vail Mountain. It's like, how do we do this experience? How do we make sure the visitor experiences are what we want? And so a lot of work behind the scenes, elevating it so we can partner. First ever visitor service summit here, almost 100 people. It was like balcony seating in the back. Okay, it was elevated behind the room, but they were all there talking about, hey, do we go technology? How do we do all of this? So there's a lot of great things coming there. And then the Colorado.com refresh. We are redoing the website. Our website is one of the fastest or highest volume type of experience out there in terms of number of transactions and content and all these types of things. And so how do we do it, but how do we also set it up so it's AI friendly? So AI, fascinating, and I heard some stats earlier this week already. 17% of people look for experiences on AI now and search through AI for experiences. So we have to make sure our website is set up correctly so that the search functionality works, so that we can elevate the experiences in the right way, so that we can inspire whatever it is and utilize these tools. We've seen chat boxes. It was interesting. I was on United. I was fighting to try to get an upgrade. I decided to do it through a text. And what I found out, and I by accident, is it was a chat bot, but I was trying to go, okay, can I do this? Can I put miles to upgrade? And I was going through all this process, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we'll try and we'll put you in a new seat. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, so now, like, I lost my window seat, and they're saying I got an upgrade. Then it comes back to me 5 minutes later and says, oh, well, you need to give points. And then I'm like, I chat box back, and they're like, oh, well, we don't know how many points. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how many points? I'm like, give me my seat back, right? Putting it back in there. And then by the time I got and I was with Lisa Bruning, and all this is going on, she's like, well, I really want to do some shopping. I'm like, oh, this is going to take a while. You know, just get going, right? And so then I'm like, okay, I lost my seat. I was trying to use points to get an upgrade because it was a long flight. And I didn't realize the whole thing was done through AI. So I go to the gate, and they're like, well, I see you're upgraded, but you didn't give us the points. I'm like, okay, how many points? And they're like, well, then they went to the back. You know, everybody's like this, scrambling, whatever it is, nothing's happening. They come back, and they're like, we don't know. I'm like, well, give me my old seat back, right? They go back, nothing. So then they're like, you know what, it's your lucky day. You get an upgrade. And I'm like, is this AI? And she's like, yeah, this is AI. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, all right, so if you ever want to do something to get an upgrade, try to do it through the texting. But that's technology. And I hope no airline partners, I'm sorry about that. So, but that's where we got to incorporate technology, and we just can't leave it behind. So anyway, that's the update from our office. So what I'd like to do is ask the experts that make it happen to come on up and give us an update of their program so they can hear in detail, and then it'll give you an idea of who to ask for these types of things.
This is Colorado, a landscape of stunning diversity shaped into a world-class travel destination by powerful forces of nature. And we are the Colorado Tourism Office, also a force of nature, dedicated to empowering our partners in the tourism industry. Together, we inspire the world to explore Colorado responsibly and respectfully, because Colorado tourism is critical to our economy. It's like sun to our Palisade beaches, rain to our alpine lakes and vast rivers, and this fluffy white stuff to the high country. When tourism thrives, so does Colorado. Tourism supports thousands of jobs in the state. In fact, Colorado tourism jobs grew this year alone by nearly 10%, and it drives millions of dollars in economic impact. We're talking to the tune of almost $28 billion in visitor spending. That means visitors are putting their dollars to good use here, 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 and oh yes, bring it on, here. No matter how you slice it, that's a lot of dough. The point is, Colorado offers something for everyone, and it's literally our job to showcase the beauty and wonder of this incredible place to the world. To do that, we need partners like this, hundreds of them actually, across Colorado. Together, focusing on 3 strategic pillars identified in the Colorado Tourism Roadmap: economic vitality, destination stewardship, and industry leadership. With 4 distinct seasons and so many amazing experiences on tap, this place is literally never the same. Just as this gives way to this, the Colorado Tourism Office is proud to support this special blend of Rocky Mountain adventure and Western hospitality to the world, because we know it gives way to this, and this, and a world of benefits to the state, our industry partners, and the communities that we love.
Hello, everyone. As you can tell, I am not Shelly Cooper. Shelly is our Deputy Director of Marketing. She unfortunately couldn't be here with us today, so I am Christina Tuckman. I'm the Marketing Manager with the Colorado Tourism Office. We also have 3 other amazing members on our team as well. We have Hayes Norris, our Communications Manager, Natasha Rodriguez, our Senior Brand Manager, and Michelle Wolfson, our Copywriter. And we also work with 4 amazing agencies, all of whom are represented here in this room. So we work with Handlebar, PR, Karsh Hagen, Miles Partnership, and MMGY. And now I'd like to show you a video to highlight our marketing work and accomplishments over the past year.
Let's talk about marketing. It's important because, let's be honest, people who see this, or this, or this every day deserve a reminder that this vibrant landscape and this fresh air and these adventures are all just a hop, skip, and a jump away in Colorado, this state that we're lucky enough to call home. And we invited others to experience it last summer, enticing them to shine a little brighter.
In Colorado, everything shines a little brighter. Colorado, come to life.
We continued this campaign through fall again, promoting this less traveled shoulder season.
In Colorado, everything shines a little brighter. Colorado, come to life.
This campaign influenced 1.4 million incremental Colorado trips in the summer and fall seasons for a travel spend of $2.4 billion. The campaign also leveraged hundreds of custom assets, including this video spotlighting the iconic Carousel of Happiness.
As you first come up through the canyon, the first thing you see is a big reservoir with hills and mountains on both sides.
Practically speaking, Nederland would be the last place I would put a carousel. You feel like you're living right on the edge of wilderness as well. We frequently have moose wander through town, but this is where it belonged, and we're glad it's here. And people come from all over the country to ride.
Okay, you guys are all set, all right?
The campaign also featured this debut on Volta EV charging stations. These ads contributed to saving 1,000 gallons of gas, hundreds of trees based on carbon offset, and powered 76,000 electric vehicle miles. That's enough miles to drive around the world 3 times. But why would you ever want to leave Colorado? Especially in winter.
Dream it up. Shred it up. Live it up. In Colorado, everything shines a little brighter. Colorado, come to life.
The Shine a Little Brighter winter campaign influenced nearly 750,000 incremental trips in the winter season for a travel spend of over $1.4 billion. Collectively, this year-round campaign was supported by over 600 custom assets highlighting all four corners of our state. And it won the prestigious Silver HSMAI Adrian Award. I'll raise a mug of hot cocoa to that. When you team up with a good hiking partner, you can reach new heights. And the view up here sure is sweet. Down here too, but that's beside the point. Together with our co-op partners this year, we made great strides expanding the Colorado brand with our Do Colorado Right campaign. And in our DEI inclusive marketing co-ops. These co-op programs and the roughly $1 million that CTO matched on these efforts were responsible for over 362 million impressions. Now that's a mountain of impressions. No, that's like the Long's Peak of impressions. In collaboration with partners around the state, our diverse, ever-present influencer program continued this year, delivering 26 million impressions.
I want you back. When marimba rhythms start to play, you dance with me, make me. Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better.
Our organic social program grew to reach over 228 million impressions. This was a year-over-year increase of 14% on Facebook and 213% on Instagram. That's a whole lot of climbing. Here's some more good news. And no, we're not talking about the grand reopening of Casa Bonita. But you know what else made a splash this year? Our PR efforts. With a co-op satellite media tour, monthly KDVR segments, and over 400 articles promoting all of our travel regions, our public relations efforts drove 5.7 billion PR impressions and generated more than $15 million in media value. Apparently we've got more stats than Nikola Jokic. Boom. And while numbers don't tell the whole story, the CTO, together with industry partners, is proud to have once again ensured that marketing efforts for Colorado shined brighter.
Alrighty, so now that we've taken a look back, I'd like to take a look ahead at some of the work we'll be doing over this next year. Tim mentioned this earlier, what you see here on the screen, there it is a sneak peek at colorado.com. This will be the refresh of our consumer website. And this will be coming out around early 2024, and some of the updates that we are making will be updating the design and the technical side of the site. So kind of from a design perspective, as you can see, this will tie in really closely to our Colorado brand book. We're also adding some ways to kind of increase the visual storytelling, which will make it easier or just create a more inspiring way for visitors to learn about the state and inspire people to visit more of the state when they do come here. And from a technical side, we'll be decoupling the front end from the back end, which is a little techie speak. In essence, that will be improving the speed of the website. We have about 30,000 pages on colorado.com, so that will make it faster for visitors to kind of move through and look at that site. To mention the search functionality, so we'll have an engaging search functionality, which will allow visitors to search by season or activity to find what they're looking for. And then we also have some fun facts that will be sprinkled throughout the site. They're pretty small on the screen up there, but one of the facts we have is like that Colorado has 39,000 miles of hiking trails. And so those facts will be sprinkled on the site. They'll also be in our official state vacation guide and also in the Welcome Center redesign as well. Just one way that we're tying all this together under the CTO brand. And then continuing to look ahead, we will be conducting a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility RFP for a contractor to advise on campaigns and research to create more just content that will reach diverse audiences and ensure that everybody feels welcome and represented in our advertising. For co-ops, we do have a couple of new additions to our co-op program. I do have to do a quick plug if anyone's interested in co-ops. They open next week, October 4th, so come see me if you have questions. But the new things that we do have for our co-op, so we have a niche target co-op, which will allow partners to really hyper-target a specific audience, like people that like to go to casinos. We have a social video co-op where we'll be going into destinations to film video and then provide those videos to the destinations so that they can create their own social videos going forward. And then Love Colorado, this is a printed publication. We'll be doing this in partnership with Atlas Obscura, kind of evolving into creating these new little booklets that will be bound, beautiful booklets that people will want to collect and hopefully go around and travel and gather those and keep them. The first one coming out will be themed around water. I believe it's called Soak Up Our Waters, and it comes out in the spring, so be on the lookout for those. In brand research, we are in the midst of an 8-month research project on looking at the feeling and emotion of quote-unquote aliveness in Colorado when visitors come, like with our Come to Life tagline. And then we're also doing some destination development photo shoots in partnership with Destination Development, coming to many of your destinations over the next year and a half. And last but certainly not least, we are doing a whole host of updates to Do Colorado Right. So we will be working on filming new water safety content in October, which will be coming out next year. Be working with Jill's team and the destination stewardship side to do some localized Do Colorado Right content. Now I'd like to take a look at a video highlighting our work on Do Colorado Right over the past year.
At the Colorado Tourism Office, we're passionate about Colorado. So when visitors enjoy our state, we don't want them to just do Colorado. We want them to do Colorado right, which is why our Do Colorado Right destination stewardship campaign continued to grow this year. This is Nelson Holland. This is Quinn Gable. And this is Philip Henderson, Colorado outdoor enthusiasts and featured guests in our ads with pro tips like
keep your campfire small and manageable.
Always stay on the trail.
And with ideas on how to keep our trails clean.
1, bring snacks in reusable containers. 2, bring a bag for your trash. And other people's trash. 3, pack out everything.
And I do mean everything, people.
That's how you do Colorado right.
And life-saving winter tips like this.
I don't choose where to go like this. I know before I go, and I bring this.
Because, like Colorado rock climbing, protecting our visitors and our state might seem daunting, but partnerships always make it easier, which is why we partnered with organizations around the state to expand the promotion of our Care for Colorado Leave No Trace principles, asking visitors to do Colorado right, and to keep wildlife wild. Yeah, we mean really wild. We also teamed up with these agencies to help develop new content to tackle the important issues facing our state. And we partnered with these destinations, making the campaign even better and bigger. I said even bigger! Our partnership with 9 News further amplified our message.
Do Colorado Right really means to explore and adventure our state in a thoughtful and respectful way. And we're so lucky to have so many wonderful, assets in terms of natural scenic beauty and outdoor adventure. But with that comes the responsibility to protect and preserve those assets for generations to come.
This partnership also helped residents get on board to do Colorado Right. Hang 10! And finally, we expanded our messaging to new locations, reaching visitors upon arrival to the state. Here and here, but not here. Remember, keep wildlife wild? The results? This is a number we are particularly proud of. It's 3.5 times larger than it was last year. I did say larger! And this is the Bronze HSMAI Adrian Award the campaign won for the 2nd year in a row. And that is how, together, we do Colorado right.
Thanks, Christina. Hi, everyone. I'm Jill Corbin, Deputy Director of Destination Stewardship at the Colorado Tourism Office. And I'd like to take just a quick moment to introduce the entire Destination Stewardship team, some of whom are up here next to me on the stage, and some are in the audience right there. So if you see us around, please say hello. We'd love to connect with you or meet you for the first time. We have Andrew Grossman, our Director of Destination Development and Research, Taryn Mulch, our Director of Visitor Services, Elizabeth O'Rear, our Director of Grants and Funding, as well as Hillary Lukowitz, our Senior Manager of Destination Development, Jackson Feld, our Destination Stewardship Specialist, Sammy Wells, our Grants and Funding Manager, and Katie Jacobson, our Senior Manager of Industry Partnerships and Education. So I want to take another moment to just share our Destination Stewardship video that summarizes a bit of the work that we have accomplished, this team with our partners over the last year.
Destination stewardship. We use this term to talk about all the ways we care for our natural resources, communities, and cultures in Colorado, because we know sometimes the effects of tourism can be experienced here, here, and here. The Colorado Tourism Office, in collaboration with partners throughout the state, wants to protect and enhance what people love about Colorado for future generations, while also fostering a strong, resilient tourism economy. Which is why we created a new Destination Stewardship Council with over 25 industry experts and thought leaders from around the state to guide our efforts. And because it's always good to have a roadmap of where you'd like to go, CTO launched a 12-month Destination Stewardship Strategic Planning Initiative to develop statewide and regional plans aimed at balancing residents' quality of life with visitor experiences, while enhancing our cultural and natural assets. Our Care for Colorado Coalition is now 130 partners strong. We launched over 160 rebranded and customizable Care for Colorado Leave No Trace assets, so we can share this stewardship messaging here, here, and even here. Yeah, really. We created a new inclusivity and travel coalition with over 20 industry partners. These agents of change are committed to advancing DEIA initiatives and efforts for Colorado's tourism industry. We continue to work closely with Colorado tourism professionals to support their growth and development with the popular Colorado Tourism Leadership Journey. Now in its 4th year, this program has 85 alumni and recently announced the class of 2024. Because from cogwheel trains to Hanging Lake, there is so much to learn about Colorado. To increase the knowledge of local experiences and awareness on the value of tourism, our online partner training tools, the CTO Learning Labs, have expanded in access and functionality. We translated Colorado Concierge into Spanish and created 7 new destination learning labs to highlight local information to help frontline workers enhance the visitor experience. Why, yes, Colorado does have over 1,500 ghost towns across the state. Some places are so uniquely Colorado, like here, and here. It's these amazing places that motivate our destination development work, like our Reimagine Destinations and Reimagine Industry Associations programs, where we delivered 24 workshops and provided over 3,000 hours of consulting to help various communities and industry sectors. We've also been collaborating with CDOT, the Colorado Energy Office, and the Colorado Scenic and Historic Byways Commission to electrify our byways. Now, 14 of our 26 byways have an electric byway designation. We launched the Colorado Dark Sky Certification Mentor Program to advance strategies that protect our night skies and help achieve International Dark Sky Place certification. All this to protect our stars, not those stars. Ah, yes, these stars. We also support our destinations through grants. In total, CTO contributed over $200,000 to 4 events through direct support grants. Now in its 2nd year, the Meeting and Events Incentive Cash Rebate Program continues to grow. By mid-2023, the program totaled over $6.5 million in cash rebates in 25 counties. We also awarded $1.8 million to 7 destinations for tourism recovery marketing, and distributed nearly $900,000 to 37 organizations in matching grants for tourism marketing and management. Together, there's been such immense progress. Let's just pause for a moment and take it all in. Okay, back to work. These are Colorado Welcome Centers, and the people who greet visitors with helpful travel information and a smile. Ooh, and a cup of coffee. Over 840,000 visitors arrive through these doors each year. That's more than an entire summer of concert goers at Red Rocks. Being a first point of contact for travelers also comes with a great deal of responsibility. We partnered with CDOT and the Colorado Department of Public Safety to bring awareness to human trafficking, as well as Colorado Parks and Wildlife to host boat inspections that protect Colorado from invasive species. To maintain a competitive edge in guest relations, CTO is now leading a multi-year project to deliver a more branded and interactive guest experience. We want to ensure that Colorado is putting its best foot forward, literally, when visitors walk through our doors. As an extension of all these efforts, CTO hosted an inaugural Visitor Services Summit at GovCon 2023 to support visitor services throughout all of Colorado. Because when your home is as beautiful as this, it only makes sense to work hard to protect, nurture, and preserve it together.
Great. So as you know, destination stewardship is a priority for the Colorado Tourism Office. It sits as one of our 3 pillars of our roadmap. And it means that we are working hard to protect and enhance all of the tourism assets around the state, including our incredible natural environment, our cultural heritage, and also what makes Colorado so great, its people and communities. And we know that we can't do that alone. And so this is why we created the Destination Stewardship Council this past year, comprised of thought leaders and industry stakeholders from around the state to help guide us as we move through this destination stewardship journey. We are working hard on our first big project, which is the Destination Stewardship Strategic Planning Initiative. The council is helping to guide this work. We are looking towards a really collaborative approach for this effort to help improve the quality of life for residents, continue to enhance the visitor experience while balancing any type of impacts on our natural environment, our culture, and communities. We are also deeply committed to alignment with this work. We know that there are some fantastic stewards in Colorado out there already that have been doing this type of work for decades. And so the Tourism Office is committed to aligning with your work and understanding where you are today and where you'd like to go in the future so we can all work together to protect this place that we love so much. Where we are today with this Destination Stewardship Strategic Plan, this is a 12-year process, or 12 years, 12-month process. Sorry, maybe it feels that way. But it is a very long-term goal for us at the CTO. So we are working hard to get this accomplished in 12 months. And we're building out a statewide plan and 8 regional plans, as well as a glossary of terms. So far, the CTO team, along with our contractors, have conducted, we're planning to conduct 200 one-on-one interviews with leaders around the state. We've engaged with over 400 participants with webinars taking place around the state, introducing this process, and currently we're hosting workshops around the state as well. We're having 16 this fall. We'll have 16 more coming in the spring, all to connect with you all and hear from you and get your feedback on this work. Last winter, we kicked off our Inclusivity and Travel Coalition, and we hold quarterly meetings for this group. All are welcome to join. If you're interested, please do so. Please come talk to me about it. We'd love to have as many participants as possible with this coalition. This group is working hard to help guide the Colorado Tourism Office. This past year, we've created our guiding principles of access, belonging, community, and courage. We'll be working on rolling out our vision statement and commitments for the coming year to help support our tourism partners and their needs when it comes to promoting Colorado and advancing inclusivity around the state. Our Care for Colorado Coalition continues to evolve and grow. We're at over 130 partners strong now. This is a free opportunity for anyone who's interested, any business or organization or destination out there. We encourage you to connect with us and learn more about this coalition. There's some wonderful resources with educational messaging. We've partnered with Leave No Trace to create the Care for Colorado Leave No Trace principles. We have over 160 educational assets that are available for free for our partners to use to help share out this destination stewardship messaging around the state. We also have our wonderful Colorado Tourism Leadership Journey. The graduates of class of 2023 will be on stage tomorrow morning getting their diploma, so to speak, and we'll be kicking off the class of 2024 shortly. We're just thrilled to have this program going strong with over 85 active alumni and just a wonderful network of tourism leaders connecting and working together and growing professionally to make this tourism industry the best that it can be. We have our free online educational platform, the CTO Learning Labs. We've done a ton of great work with this in this past year, and there's a lot more to come here. This is, again, free for everybody to access 24/7 online. The CTO Learning Labs house all of our Colorado Concierge content as well as our craft learning labs. We are working on building out our destination learning labs, which really takes all of the information and local knowledge that you all have to share, elevates it to this platform so we can help train all those frontline workers and anyone in the tourism industry that just wants to have a deeper understanding of all the fabulous experiences that take place in your area, as well as some specialization learning labs that are coming online in the coming year, everything from astrotourism to agritourism and much more. So please be sure to check that out. And with that, I will turn it over to Andrew Grossman.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jill. And good morning, everyone. I'm Andrew, Director of Destination Development and Research. Super excited to have a chance to just give you an update on the things that we're doing looking forward. You saw all the great work that we've been doing at Destination Development looking back. But quickly, with Destination Development, I always like to say that when you work with this part of the CTO, we try to provide strategic guidance when we can, but also access to implementation resources. And I cannot do it on my own. I'm supported by a fabulous colleague, Hillary, as well as a swath of consultants. Many of them are in the room today that really make all the work that I'm about to share possible. So looking ahead, we did award 10 different destinations, what we call Destination Blueprint. This year, we are in the process of our destination assessments leading up to a series of workshops this fall before providing 1,000 hours of consulting throughout those 10 projects. We are currently accepting applications for our Destination Development Mentor Program, which is just access to hours of consulting. It'll be 100 hours open for destination organizations and tourism industry associations. You've heard about our Dark Sky Certification Mentor Program. Those will open on October 3rd, and we have spots for 6 locations to get 70 hours of consulting. We've also have our Electric Byways program. We have more than half of our byways are currently under designation as Colorado Electric Byways. We're keeping tabs on what type of infrastructure is coming online, i.e. charging stations, so we can continue to bring these up to a higher number. We also have access to tourism subject matter experts. Sometimes people are just like, hey, I'm stuck in an eddy in the river. How do I move outdoor recreation forward? How do I move forward conversations around dark skies? We do have forms you can submit to get access to these resources for free for just a few hours of light touch consulting. And then most importantly, and something I'm really proud of this part of the organization doing, is our work to champion the value of tourism, provide access to timely research about lodging taxes, how to bond lodging taxes to get capital for high value infrastructure projects. So just know that that is something that we're doing, and I'm pretty shameless, so we do have a session after this that's gonna be Tourism Jeopardy that you should all come to learn more about how to value tourism. I'm gonna hand over to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Andrew. My name is Elizabeth, and I am the Director of Grants and Funding for the CTO. And the Grants and Funding team's job is really to support you, our industry partners, by providing funding opportunities that will enhance Colorado's competitiveness, that respond to industry need, but to also ensure alignment and collaboration between the CTO and industry partners. The work that we do can't be done by myself, and I have a fabulous grants and funding manager, Sammy Wells, that most of you who apply for grants are really familiar with, because she can always answer all of the technical questions for our portal, which is not always a user-friendly experience, but more about that in a little bit. The video really highlighted some of the amazing work that was done last year, but I just want to make sure that everyone in the room is aware of the opportunities that are available this year. For fiscal year 24, the CTO will continue to offer our 2 signature grant opportunities. The first, which is our Tourism Marketing Matching Grant. This grant, the applications closed earlier this month, and submitted applications are currently in the review process. Our second signature grant opportunity is our Tourism Management Grant, and this grant provides funds to help develop, manage, and enhance visitor experience in Colorado. This grant application period will open up in early December 2023. That's a little earlier than last year, so I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that earlier timeline. The second thing is that this is the third and final year of our Meetings and Events Incentive Cash Rebate Program. We are still accepting applications, but even from the numbers from the video, we have now pre-approved over $7 million in cash rebates to support over 300 events in 27 counties across Colorado. And finally, just a shout out, we have 15 first-time attendees to GovCon who applied and received our professional scholarship for industry partners. So really excited to be able to provide our partners this educational experience. And looking forward, just wanted to highlight a couple of things. First, I want to make sure that anyone who applies for grants opportunities or destination development programming is aware that we are participating in a application refresh. So that online portal that you go to apply for different funding and program opportunities to the CTO will look a little different. Our hope is that it will provide a more intuitive and user-friendly application experience. Second, we are looking to put together a special event sponsorship. So you'll find out a little bit more about that, but that's really to support large-scale special events that will bring national and international awareness to Colorado. And then finally, with the grants and funding, we're really looking at making sure that the grants and funding that we provide really align with some of the priorities that come out of the strategic plan. So really looking at taking the findings from the strategic plan and making sure that the projects that we support align with that. And with that, I'll hand it over to Taryn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taryn Mulch, Director of Visitor Services. I do not have a lovely slide showing the picture of all the friendly faces you will see at the Welcome Center, but nothing that we do is possible without our amazing managers and assistant managers there. This year, visitation is still lagging a little bit behind our pre-COVID numbers, so we're about 12% behind. The sizzle reel did a great job showing you how many guests we greet, but we are exploring ways to get that number back up. So the blue line there is pre-COVID, skipped COVID year, and then you can see the last 2 years. I'm going to skip this slide because I can talk about them while you look at their beautiful faces. We have a volunteer corps of about 150 volunteers. That number is recovered from COVID. We have a lot of people coming back and wanting to serve our state, which is great. They are all certified Colorado concierges. That's a requirement of their training. And we love to get them out to experience the state. It's a tactic to retain them as well as educate them and give them firsthand experiences so they know what they're talking about with guests. Looking ahead this year, Sizzle Reel talked about this, Tim talked about this, but we have a lot of big projects in the pipeline. We're very excited for our refresh project and how the strategic design process we have gone through is coming together. I can't wait to share that next year with you all. And we're also really looking for opportunity to support visitor services as a whole, find ways to help every part of this state because we're really all visitor information people, whether we think we are or not. And that all started with our Visitor Service Summit yesterday. Thank you to all who came. It was a wonderful morning. A lot of hot topics, so I think there's a lot of work and growth that we'll have over the next year there. I'm gonna wrap it up and give it to Andrea.
Thank you, Taryn, and good morning, everybody. So international tourism, our team. I work with two amazing teammates here, Julie Defoe, who is our promotions manager, and Hope Smith, who is our program manager. But we also work with 4 other contractors who are in the room, and I haven't been able to spot you while I've been up here, so I'm gonna make you raise your hands. Liz Birdsall from Birdsall Marketing Services. Are they here, or are they already in their next session? There they are. Katrine Burns from Get It Across, who does PR, where's she? For our German-speaking markets. Will Hall from the UK, who does our trade. Absent, noted. And Santa Keller from Pulse Communications, or the Kai Group, who is back. We're back in Canada, so please make sure you say hi to all of these wonderful people. So recovery, international recovery is a little bit slow. We've been lucky in Colorado. You heard Eric talk about the fact that we're about 70% recovered for the US, but Colorado's a little bit ahead of that curve. The wide open spaces we have, our sustainability initiatives, wellness, all of the activities we have are definitely speaking to the international market. So we are recovering a little bit more quickly. And you can see from this slide, I don't need to tell you, kind of what our top spending markets were in 2022. We're waiting for a revision of some of those numbers here shortly. Projected recovery, Mexico almost recovered in 2022. So we do expect that North America, which is Mexico and Canada, to recover this year. So you should be seeing them in your destinations. Europe, we're expecting 2024, hoping that we'll see everybody back. We're working hard to make sure that happens. In Asia, just because of some closures and still some lockdowns in their area, as well as some lack of flight capacity, it's a little bit slower to recover, so we're expecting that in 2025. Return to normal, we're in our markets, we're fully funded again, plus some. We have the EDA federal funds, which have helped us do things like launch winter-specific promotions, and also a pan-European campaign to reach some of those markets that we don't have representation in. So really to spread awareness and inspiration for people to come to Colorado. And events, really, you're going to see this in the video, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I really just put these pictures up so I can embarrass all of our partners who make all of this happen. But we've been busy. It's been a busy year. Everything kind of came rushing back at once. So we've been doing missions, we've been doing trade shows, just making sure that Colorado is present throughout the world. Campaigns, this is mostly Julie, has been just absolutely skyrocketing, and it's been amazing to be fully back, including the European promotion. We work a lot through Brand USA. Jared Fuchs, I'm not going to not call you out, and Mitch Knott, somewhere here in the room. Brand USA is the USA's destination marketing organization, and I know we and many of our partners in the room work through Brand USA for some additional reach that we wouldn't have on our own. So thank you to Brand USA for everything you do for us. And FAM recap, again, I'm really just showing pictures because you're going to see it in the video, but thank you to our destination partners who make it possible. We can't do these FAMs without you. So really just showing pictures. We're going to go into a video, but Tim did mention two things we have. The international database, which we're launching for both our travel trade and for our media, so that we can give you better ROI and you can see how our efforts are working in your destinations. And Matthias Jung, just because, of course, I have to call everybody out. That's the help of RMI on that one. And tourism exchange. If any of you were in the session yesterday, that will be a new way for all of your hotels and activities to connect to international tour operators to make Colorado more accessible. All right, let's launch the video.
Travel and tourism is one of the biggest and most fascinating industries in the world. Just think that right here in our backyard, we can walk in the footsteps of ancestral Puebloans, climb up a waterfall, or take a guided trek with a llama. Not that llama, that llama. The point is, there are travel enthusiasts of all kinds throughout the world. At the Colorado Tourism Office, we do our best to reach all of them, near and far. 2022 was the first full year of international travel recovery. And as a result of our efforts this year, international travel continues to rise in Colorado. We targeted key international markets, including a return to Canada and France.
Bonjour.
We organized 7 sales missions for 4 continents and participated in 5 major trade shows. CTO also hosted 25 international FAM tours with a media value of over $33 million and published over 1,600 articles internationally, reaching a media value of almost $37 million. That's over 180 million Brazilian reais, or 630 million Mexican pesos, or almost 5.5 billion Japanese yen. For international visitors, often the first step to getting up here, down here, or riding around way out here is a conversation here, which is why we conducted 53 training sessions with over 3,000 travel agents. And now we know how to say, giddy up, in 5 different languages. Well, let's just say some things are lost in translation. But the good news is clear. Together, the CTO and our partners successfully extended an invitation to the world to experience this vast, beautiful landscape where we all get to roam.
Well, again, I just want to thank our amazing CTO team. You guys do just terrific work. You can see their collaboration with many of you in this room. We want to keep fostering those relationships, but just thank you guys for the amazing work that you guys have done in this past year. I'd also like to extend a huge thank you to two other individuals that actually keep the office running, make sure things happen, make sure the cash flows the right way, that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and that's Will and Fish that handle our office. So thank you guys for all that you guys do. So, in closing, if anyone would like to learn a little bit more about how to get involved, we've got a QR code that's going to be there on the screen, so you can certainly take a look at that. And it's our industry site, so if you could scan it and take a look at things, there's just so many ways to get behind our office, and we welcome your impact to any of our team members or input for any of our team members so that we can continue this journey together in storytelling and letting all of our future visitors know what they can experience in Colorado. So let's give our team one more big round of applause for everything that they do.
All right, thank you, Tim, and thank you to the CTO team. It's so great to work alongside this amazing team. So I'm Jackson Feld. I'm the Destination Stewardship Specialist for the Colorado Tourism Office. And before we close this morning's session, please join me in welcoming 6 honorary college students. And these students are currently enrolled in a tourism or hospitality-related program at a Colorado college or university. And out of over a dozen applications, these students rose to the top for their passion and dedication in the tourism industry. So this scholarship opportunity wouldn't be possible without our amazing sponsors, Atlas Obscura, Causal IQ, iHeartMedia, and Colorado Country Life to attend this year's conference. So as I call your name, please stand up and remain standing. And I'll ask the audience members to please hold your applause till the end. So Alexis Boehm from MSU Denver, Claire Nickerson from Fort Lewis, David Borkowski from the University of Colorado Boulder, Ilhomedin Nabijanov from Colorado State University, Keaton Holmes from Colorado State University, and Molly O'Brien from the University of Colorado Boulder. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, now let's give them a job. So we will now take a trade show break, which includes a relax and recharge station sponsored by Undertone Media. Please make your way to the main trade show area to meet with all of our guests and sponsors. You've received an exhibitor card that is in the back of your name badge. If you visit all exhibitors, you get to enter to win a prize that will be announced in Friday's closing session. Be sure to go take a look at the Colorado Tourism Leadership Journey Alumni Group. They're hosting a silent auction, and they have some great packages. So this morning's breakout sessions will begin at 10:30 a.m., and just a reminder that 2 sessions per breakout will be recorded. We'll reconvene back here at 12 p.m. for the luncheon session sponsored by Visit Denver. And please take all your belongings with you, as the hotel staff is going to be flipping these rooms for the breakout sessions. So enjoy your morning sessions, and thank you again.